What's going on, my fellow residents? It's me, TheFrozenCavern, and today we're going to continue through our journey through Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. In the last episode, we started our Mark of Mastery exam, and in this episode, we're going to continue on into the 3rd district so that we can catch up with Neku. But, oh goodness, having to start off with fighting enemies, and oh goodness, I want to say that these guys are dangerous, but like at the same time, almost every single enemy in this game is dangerous on critical mode, so that's kind of an understatement. Well, it's not even really like an understatement, but whatever.
I brought you Sora. We had a bargain.
What's the matter, Neku? Oh, no way!
Hey, that wasn't the deal. You said you wouldn't hurt it.
Don't, Neku! They're too dangerous! What? Why am I so sleepy?
And that's one of the major mechanics that is in Dream Drop Distance, or at least another one, because I did mention a few in the last episode. But yeah, that's another mechanic, but we'll go more in detail with it later on. But right now, we have to play as Riku and do one of these missions as well. And this time, it's only 300. It's not 500 like Sora's was, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that we can't, you know, collect them. And as I said last episode, it's faster to just do this, but it's also kind of annoying because, ow, Riku, just like Sora, won't actually be quiet about when he's dashing. But overall, really the same stuff, and I'm being way worse at it though. But that's fun. There we go. Anyways, my goodness, I hate that phone so much. Issue is I do still need it though, for any updates about school and all that. So, you know, that's actually unfortunate, but it's whatever. I still need it, so I'm not gonna... Bonk! Ow. I didn't even see that. I'm not gonna argue about it too much. Now, even though I'm doing this as fast as possible, I'm pretty sure your health is actually a factor in what ranking you can get. And maybe it's just time. Yeah, it's just time. The prizes grabbed might have something to do with it, but there are some missions where you won't even get anything for getting an A rank. Well, A rank, so regardless, just make sure you get an A rank, just in case.
Traverse Town? My clothes have changed.
Sora! Where are you?
Yeah, he's handling this a lot calmer than Sora is, or was.
We fell overboard after Ursula attacked. And then I think we opened a keyhole. So, this must be one of the sleeping worlds. My keyblade. It just sort of popped into my hand when I needed it most. Right. It started.
Wow. Where's your portal?
Huh?
It takes something special to jump between grounds without one.
Who are you?
My name is Joshua.
Another
What do you
character
mean,
from The
portal?
World Ends With You.
Are we just skipping past the part where you tell me your name?
Riku.
Hello there, Riku. Portals are like gateways that link up our worlds. Apparently, the world you and I are standing in right now, well, there are 2 copies of it. It's been sort of split in half. Portals are what let folks like us cross between them.
There can be 2 of a world?
The world is as many things as people need it to be. The concept that we all live in the same world, that's just in our heads. Surely you knew. I'll tell you what, Riku. I've got a little errand for you.
Sorry. I don't trust you.
Given what Joshua was saying, I probably wouldn't trust him either.
She's the key to the portal. And on the other side, who knows who we'll find? Maybe even your friend, Sora.
You know Sora?
Now I have your attention. But, unfortunately, I don't know where he is. If he's not in this version of the world, I can only assume he has to be in the other one. Simple logic.
Okay.
You want to find Rhyme? You got it. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's Riku's mission for this version of Traverse Town. And by the way, there's a remixed version of Calling, which is one of my favorite songs from The World Ends. Yeah, The World Ends With You. The issue with calling it The World Ends With You is that there's a world in Kingdom Hearts called The World That Never Was, so I have to make sure that I don't accidentally call it that, but whatever. By the way, there are these link portals here, and we can do some challenges from them, or we can get some allies, which are basically, you know, the Dream Eaters that we can get. And actually, I kind of made a little bit of a mistake here, because I'm pretty sure we can equip one of our Dream Eaters that we made. Okay. And immediately, I get chained to death.
Incredible.
Oh wait, no, okay, I guess I can't get to the spirits yet. But we can edit our deck for right now, so I guess we'll do that. Let's change that for that. Blizzard might help more? I'm gonna keep Sleep though, because, yeah, those guys are annoying. Anyways, yeah, let's just do this. Maybe that will do a little bit better. My goodness. Again, you can get chained to death so easily in this game, and it's dumb. Like, I had basically no control after I got hit there for what would happen. So, like, it is a little bit of my fault, but at the same time, oh my goodness. But we'll hopefully deal with it. We will hopefully deal with the fact that I, you know, got chained to death and that it can happen multiple times throughout the game. But, again, we will just deal with it, hopefully. We'll try and adjust and be a little bit more careful next time. And if not, then, well, tough luck for me then. But regardless, ow, stop hitting me. Regardless, the whole thing switching between Sora and Riku, that's, again, another mechanic in this game that's not used in any other game. Somewhat thankfully, because there is like a pretty major difference, or it's like a slight difference actually, between the PS4 version and the the 3DS version of this game. And unfortunately, the actual aspect hasn't been brought in yet, but we will get to that when we actually get to that. I hate the fact that I keep saying we'll get to it, but it's whatever. We're gonna use these guys for now. I never really used the, link portals all that much, because you had your own Dream Eaters, and they were more important because you actually kept them and you had to train them,
Why don't
so...
they ever attack you?
They being Dream Eaters? They won't go after you unless you're a dreamer.
Or, you know, you're actually in the physical game and not just in cutscenes.
Dreams.
But they're definitely attacking me. So, you think I'm a dreamer?
Every human being is a dreamer. I had a friend once who said he never dreamed of anything, but it turned out that his were the most powerful dreams of all. You sort of remind me of him. Why don't we give your dreams shape? In this world, they take form as Dream Eaters, which can become great allies.
And here we have the whole, you know, tutorial for, the creating Dream Eaters again. Yeah, that's kind of one thing that this game is kind of bad at, and it's tutorials, because it kind of gives you a bunch of tutorials all throughout the game. So, you know, that's fun. Totally want to see tutorials in every single world that shows up. I totally want to see that. I mean, granted, it's needed. It's needed because it's for the reality shift stuff. It is needed for that, but at the same time, my goodness. Alright, so, what can we name this? You know what? Hold on a second.
12 seconds later.
Alright, so, as usual, well, not really as usual, in previous videos I've given, like a few shoutouts. It hasn't really been all that many, but what I'm going to try and do for all of these is that I'm going to, you know, get Dream Eaters, make them and all that, and I'm going to try my best to give them to subscribers and, like other, you know, friends that I have for YouTube. So this time it will be a subscriber, and it will be Pt.2, I think it's a capital D? Yeah, capital D, 22. There we go. Those look like backwards, well, not even backwards Z's, but whatever. And I think it's that. Yeah, there we go. So for the rest of the Dream Eaters, or at least most of my Dream Eaters, they will be subscribers who have made, you know, a big, you know, note on the channel, like with comments or whatever, or just helping out, or stuff like that. So if you want that, then like, just
How many
make sure
times
you
do
try
we
to
have to
contribute a
go
little
over
bit.
this?
It's a little bit of a bonus, I
We've
guess.
been tricked
And it makes it pretty easy
by
in this
that
game,
road
since
to
there's
the
a
black
lot
hole.
of dream eaters that you can make in this game.
But that's...
I'm telling you, you've made a friend of our enemy.
Just can it, alright? Your inverse psychiatry ain't gonna work. Let's go, Dream Eaters! What? Ugh, man, not cool.
And also, I'm pretty sure beat meant reverse psychology. And we can skip. Actually, I think I almost somewhat did it last episode, so we can skip that. But we can link with our spirits once our little bar gets fully completed under our dream eaters. If it's no, it's not full now. Okay, can I not die instantly, please? Anyways, we have to. Well, we don't really even need to link with our spirits in order to, do this fight. So that'll be fine. Oh, right, I forgot. I can actually go out and look for stuff. Because I should be doing that. I usually do that a lot. Hopefully, Pt.2 down there doesn't just end up dying. But usually he doesn't. And even if he does, okay, well, another thing is that they'll instantly teleport over to you. So it's fine. He will be just diddly fine. But for right now, of course, we're just going to go around getting all these chests and junk. And that's really it for this area. So, back to the actual fight. But yeah, he manages to handle himself very, very nicely. But there we go. And also, I should probably make a few mentions as to why I'm naming certain people. Well, no, not certain people. Why I give certain people Dream Eaters. So for Pt.2, when it came to Jak and Daxter, he's been like one of the biggest supporters. For Jak and Daxter. Like, for all of my Jak X videos, which I'm doing right now, he's been there for every single episode with a comment, which is just amazing. I'm not sure if he actually, like, clicks a like button on a video or not, but he has commented a lot and given me a lot of useful tips and information, so that's why he, gets his little spot as a Dream Eater. And we actually have to view that, okay. I have to look at these because I have to be really careful and not accidentally skip a cutscene.
Long ago, in the age of fairy tales, the world was filled with light, a gift many believed from an unseen power known as Kingdom Hearts. You see, Kingdom Hearts was protected by its counterpart, the Keyblade, so that none could ever lay hands on its mysteries. But in time, the world was overrun by legions who wanted the light all for themselves, and the first shadows were cast upon the land.
And we have heard this story before. It's been like a few times, but we didn't hear like too much afterwards, I think. This might be the same exact story that was told by Kyrie's grandmother, who was in Birth by Sleep, and it was also explained in Kingdom Hearts 1, but I don't think it was mentioned any other times. Well, actually, in the intro of Key, it was.
The world was remade as we know it today, with countless smaller worlds shining like stars in the sky. As for the real Keyblade, it did not survive the battle. The two elements that created it, one of darkness and one of light, shattered into 20 pieces. 7 of light, 13 of darkness.
It's kind of weird how it didn't shatter evenly, considering that there's supposed to be a balance, quote-unquote, of light and darkness, but it's mostly darkness? So that's a little weird, but whatever.
Even the brightest world will have its dark corners. After all, light begets darkness, and darkness is drawn to light. For this reason, some decided to use the Keyblade, a weapon designed to conquer the light, to defend the light instead. These were the first heroes of the Keyblade.
I wonder who that's supposed to be. Totally doesn't make it obvious with, history and all that, and the actual camera being specifically pointed at Riku or anything, but,
Where is he?
They're both gone. Before I fell asleep, Neku said that he and that creep in the coat had a deal. But what was the deal? Are the two of them in league? That can't be right. We never even found Neku's partner. I guess I should just take a look around.
And this is the major mechanic that I've been talking about the entire game, where you have to drop between characters and there's also a drop gauge. And unfortunately, there are a decent amount of downsides when it comes to this drop gauge. So, for one, you have to work pretty relatively fast, which is a little bit unfortunate, but my goodness, I have to try and explain so much stuff while also doing other things at the same time, but hopefully we'll be able to, you know, do that. But trying to do menuing and everything, well, explain everything at the same time, it is not an easy thing to do. But regardless, dropping in this game, it's a little irritating. That guy hit me through a wall. Okay, it's irritating mainly because in order to actually complete the game, you have to basically go through the same worlds twice. It's nothing different from, what is it, Chain of Memories, where you have to play one story as Sora and then you went through the other as Riku. It's basically almost the same thing. However, the difference between this game and Rechain is that the pacing was a little bit better. Unfortunately for, what is it? This game, it can be a little bit awkward, especially if you don't exactly know what you're doing when it comes to trying to pace the game. So yeah, that's one thing. And thankfully, in something I mentioned before about the PS4 having a different, you know, not really version. It's odd. It's a different whatever compared to the 3DS version, and that is that the drop gauge is actually slower in this version than the 3DS version. To be honest, I don't know why exactly. Well, it's probably because a lot of people were upset about it. But like when I first played the game, I didn't exactly have too many problems with it, aside from like the first world. Well, this world, I guess. In this world, you're not exactly going to be able to complete what is it? Both worlds. Well, both Sora and Riku's version of the same world, like within like the same drop gauge, because later on we're going to be getting drop me knots, which lower the actual drop gauge. But aside from that, there wasn't exactly too much else that was, you know, actually effective. But oh goodness, I have to explain so much. But anyways, we need to defeat these enemies before we're actually able to use the link portal that's like right here, unfortunately. So we'll get to that after defeating these enemies. But oh goodness, by the way, these sheep are kind of annoying because even though this is like the first world in the game, these sheep, they can, what is it, increase the rate of your drop gauge. So you know, that's kind of fun, having to have your the rate of it increase, and especially in a 3DS version where, like I said, the like actual rate is already sped up as it is. So you know, that doesn't, you know, hurt the player at all, having that so early on in the game. But whatever. Come on, there we go. And by the way, I never really got too much into explaining the whole like what is it, link thing. So whenever you and one of your Dream Eater allies hit an enemy at the same time, which isn't exactly the most common thing in the world, but when you do end up doing that, then that increases a little bit of their, is it link gauge? I think it's link gauge. I don't know the specific of what it's called, but regardless, it increases that a little bit, and then when it's put up to the max, you're able to link with that, what is it, Dream Eater. And if you're Sora, then you guys can do like special attacks together. But if you're Riku, then you actually like combine and get Riku's, not abilities, his attacks change slightly. So again, there is a little bit of a difference between the two, but I wouldn't say it's really the same. It works out the same way, but actually activating it, it's two completely different things. Overall, I'd have to say Sora's is probably better. Riku's just feels weird for the most part. But, oh goodness, we have a giant large area out here. You've never seen this area before, have you? Yeah, there's a lot of new things here. So we're just gonna throw that over there. I need to be careful. That way this actually hits. Because you can use the reality shifts to break certain barriers or whatever in order to... Okay, don't... Okay, let's move out the way there. There we go. But anyways, you can use your reality shifts in order to break out like certain areas so that you can get certain chests or whatever have you. But yeah, like I said before, using flow motion makes all of this like way better, because imagine if you had to go through this without flow motion. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't be able to use a majority of this anyways, but at the same time, it's just having to imagine that. Just, I'm honestly disgusted that I gave myself the thought of even doing that. Like, that's just horrendous. Anyways, let's try and use the link system with our Mason, cat dog. But this is what I mean when I say that Sora can combine his attacks with his actual spirits. And this one's kind of a little bit broken because it gives you complete invisibility frames, but at the same time the attack is... And it's just really slow, but it is pretty powerful for what it is, so there's that, I guess. And again, you don't really have to worry about where your Dream Eaters are at any point in time, because they'll just teleport right back over to you. It's kind of like the allies in the other game, so you don't really have to worry about them, including them. So again, you don't really have to worry about it too much, but it's something to note because I think you guys can actually get into a fight and they'll appear a little bit later. So yeah, actually worry about that a little bit. Okay, I'm taking a big chunk of damage, but thankfully one of them healed me. Thank you. I think it was Mason. I'm assuming it was him. But regardless, we're just going to keep on going. And also, one thing I didn't really point out, mainly because I didn't really notice it until now, but whenever you leave a fight and then go back to it, if you've damaged an enemy, that health stays that way. Really, the only reason I'm pointing that out is because some games don't do that, because I'm pretty sure Burp by Sleep doesn't do that. Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't do that. Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't do that. A lot of games don't... Well, yeah, a lot of games in general don't really do that. And a lot of games in the Kingdom Hearts series don't do that either. I think... I know it's this game that does it, obviously, because I just pointed it out. But I think Recoded does it? I'm not sure. Retainer Memories doesn't, because that one works completely differently when it comes to handling enemies. So it's... If you don't know about that already, just go to... just look up gameplay for Retainer Memories, or you can watch my Let's Play of that if you're so interested. But... yeah, overall that just works incredibly differently. And are there any other games that do it? Days might do that. I'm not entirely sure. But oh no. Okay. Yay, I fell off the edge. Push me to the edge. Okay, here we go. Anyways, there we go. We actually angled ourselves towards the chest. And okay, no, it actually isn't this. Okay. There's a magic spell in this game that's ridiculously broken. I did hint at it a little bit in the last episode. So yeah, just wait around for that. But it's in the next area, so we're more than likely going to get there in the next episode, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time is a little bit grateful. Okay, so for this mission, I can't get hit 2 times. And these are actually like super-powered versions of like the normal enemies that you see, so yeah, you got to be extremely careful. So they hit way harder than the original versions too, so it's best to use flow motion here. Like I said before, it's a little bit cheating, but considering that these guys are super powerful and you're not even supposed to get hit to begin with, yeah, just use it. Don't even feel bad about it, just use it. It'll be fine. And then, oh goodness, he landed all the way down there. Thankfully, he won't do too much. Okay. Gotta be careful. I don't really know how much this guy does, and I'm not wanting to find out, so let's not find out. Alright, there we go. But overall, the link portals will have different types of missions that you can, well, not really missions, but objectives that you can do during these, and they give you a little bit of extra stuff. So it's best to try and do those as often as possible. That way you're able to actually, you know, get extra goodies from doing it, such as like new spirit, recipes, and then extra ingredients that you can use and stuff like that. Overall, it's pretty important that you do that. Can I keep going? Isn't this like the 5th district? I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's a cutscene here, so we'll activate the cutscene and then we'll end the episode. Okay, I guess it's not a cutscene, never mind. Regardless, we'll be heading off into, I think that's Oh, Fountain Plaza. I thought it was the 5th district, because there are, like, other districts in this version of the game. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but that's not that bad. Anyways, next episode we're going to be continuing on, and again, this is going to be a little awkward, especially in terms of Let's Playing, but we'll hopefully get into a groove at some point. It will be fine. It will be fine. And Mason, okay, Mason was kind of walking into me, but whatever. Next episode, we're going to continue on through more Traverse Town and Sora, but until the next video, take care.